Bhikkhunis was first created by the Buddha at the specific request of his aunt and foster mother Mahapajapati Gautami, who became the first ordained bhikkhuni. Encourage a movement which uplifts the role and status of Buddhist women within the Buddhist faith. Promote telling the history of women in Buddhism. Promote a network of accomplished Buddhist women, ordained and lay. The categories of the Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards, OWBA, recognize 4 categories of accomplishments: meditative practice, social work and community development, Dharma propagation. The 22nd Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards, OWBA, ceremony, held at the Silanantawan Meditation Center Premises, at Sakhon Nakhon, Udon Thani, Thailand on International Women's Day, March 8, 2023. This year 16 women from Taiwan, France, Germany, Myanmar, Sweden, Thailand, and USA awarded and honored for their exceptional contributions to Buddhism. This awards ceremony organized under the leadership by co-founder of the Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards, Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Dr. Lee. The event supported by President of the Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards, OWBA, Deputy President of the World Alliance of Buddhists, WAB, Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Dr. Ming Yu and Co-Founder of the Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards, Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Rathnavali. Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Silananda, Abbess of the Silanantawan Meditation Center, and her team of the nuns, including the village devotees, warmly welcomed and offered real Thai hospitality whole in the program. The honorees were selected by a panel of Buddhist scholars and practitioners and received their awards at a ceremony held at the Association for the Promotion of the Status of Women. Two Buddhist nuns, Thai Bhikkhuni Rathnavali and American Bhikkhuni Dr. Lee, got the idea to develop an award in honor of Buddhist women's accomplishments on the United Nations International Women's Day. This idea arose in March 2001 after the nuns attended 2 events, the Outstanding Women's Awards in Thailand organized by the Gender and Development Research Institute, and an invited speech offered by Venerable Bhikkhuni Dr. Lee at the United Nations in Bangkok in honor of International Women's Day on March 8, 2001. International Women's Day, March 8th, is an occasion marked by women's groups around the world. This date is also commemorated at each of the 5 United Nations branches in the world. There is also an honoring of the day across the world at universities, schools, and educational institutions. Often, the day expands into a week or even a month, focusing on the accomplishments of women. When women on all continents, who are often divided by national boundaries, ethnic, racial, linguistic, cultural, economic, and political differences, come together to celebrate their day, they can look back to women's struggle for equality, justice, peace, and development, which began in the 1840s.
今天是国际妇女节，3月8日是一个纪念就是国际妇女女性的日子，所以今天很感谢大家一起来参与阿弥陀佛 22nd Outstanding Women in Buddhist Awards ceremony. So welcome special guests from Sweden and everybody welcome. 欢迎大家莅临，给自己掌声。我们special woman.
จากสวีเดน
When she was 12 years old, become Buddhist. 12岁开始就是学佛了，就开始吃素了。Is vegan. 就是素食者，尤其是在欧洲 European is so difficult. How to learn, follow Vijayana, Tibetan Buddhist. In her inner mind, so pure mind. 她的内心啊是非常纯净的，因为她从小就年轻就吃素学佛，所以她遵循了 Guru、Teacher、Follow、Retreat always。她就是每天禅修精进，拿着念珠念佛，所以没有分南传、北传、藏传 ，different Vijayana、Theravada、Mahayana always same. We are one. We are family. 我们是一家人 ，We are come here, we join OWBA ceremony. Welcome everybody, and thank you, many Bhikkhunis join us, and the Meiji join us, and they come from China, come from Myanmar, come from Singapore, come from Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka, there, China stand up. 哦，中国给大家看一下welcome， 欢迎大家。And from Taiwan Bhikkhunis， Myanmar is， We are unique together. We are family. But COVID-19 continue now. 3 years we didn't. Every year we OWBA ceremony, 1 year, 1 time. I hope my vision, so big my vision, future, we are going to India.
Oh, she wants to have
我现在期许就是到印度离家去举办 study tour, holy place,
holy place.
Yeah.
เราเป็นครอบครัวเดียวกันเราก็ทำมีอธิษฐานเอา OWBA อยู่ในอินเดีย
Maybe this year, maybe. I hope.
เพราะว่าเราไม่ได้ร่วมกัน3 ปี
我期待也许明年快一点，我们到印度朝圣，到梨嘉耶举办 OWBA 的典礼，国际杰出女性奖，而且邀请过去历年来 every year different countries OWBA outstanding women join, so become bigger, grow up, strong.
OWBA โตขึ้นได้1 ปีประเทศมากกว่าหลายประเทศ
能够壮大，连结国际的杰出女性，大家彼此交流，一起学习 ，good cooperation, uniting together, okay?
Okay.
Women's work, all of the great women who come here today, and we will do our best to pay our respects to you and have you have a wonderful 3 days in Thailand, okay?
I am Bhikkhuni Dr. Lee from the United States of America, and I have been living in Thailand for nearly 23 years, and I'm ordained nearly 33 years, and I am a cultural geographer. I was a professor, and I am the person who brings the Buddhism for Bhikkhuni Sangha for Thailand to make Bhikkhuni Sangha. These are my daughters, and these are my granddaughters. There are others doing it, but these are. อาจารย์ลีพูดว่าอาจารย์ลีเป็นพระภิกษุณีจากสหรัฐแต่อาศัยอยู่ในประเทศไทย 23 ปี เป็นนักภูมิศาสตร์วัฒนธรรมเป็นศาสตราจารย์ในสหรัฐอาจารย์บวชกลาย33 พรรษาและอาจารย์ ประทับใจมีลูกสองมีหลานเยอะได้ช่วยให้สาธารณภิกษุณีเกิดขึ้นในประเทศไทย Thank you
ไปอยู่2 ปีสมัย24 ปีแล้วหลัง24 ปีก่อนก็เขาก็มอบรางวัลโอ้โหผู้หญิงทำความดีเยอะแยะเลยค่ะก็สงสัยว่าไป2 ปีแล้วทำไมไม่มีภิกษุณีทำไมไม่มีแม่ชีมารับจะดูดีบ้างก็อาจารย์ลีท่านไปด้วยท่านก็เขียนถามธรรมกาลิกาธรรมเกศรนะคะหลวงพ่อที่บนเวทีว่าแม่ชีเขาก็ทำความดีเยอะนะสมัยนั้นยังไม่มีภิกษุณีนะคะมีแค่คุณแม่วรมัยทีนี้แบบก็กาลิกาธรรมเกศรจดโอ้ทำไมไม่มีผลงานของแม่ชีมีอะไรเยอะๆเลยค่ะก็หลังจากนั้นแล้วก็ได้ไปบวชที่ศรีลังกากลับมาก็ตั้งใจว่าต้องมีงานหนึ่งที่แบบนี้ค่ะให้มันเกิดขึ้นกลับมาจากศรีลังกาปีแรกจัดเลยค่ะที่พุทธศาสนิกสัมพันธ์แห่งโลกที่กรุงเทพก็อาจารย์ลีถามก่อนว่ายูอยากทำอะไรกลับจากศรีลังกาปุ๊บนะคะก็บอกอยากทำผู้หญิงเก่งนี่แหละแต่ว่าเราจะมาใช้ชื่อผู้หญิงเก่งไม่ได้เพราะว่าเราอยากเป็นสตุดีภิกษุณีแม่ชีด้วยตอนนั้นไม่ได้คิดถึงภิกษุณีทั่วโลกนะคิดแค่ภิกษุณีไทยอาจารย์เลยก็โอเคท่านก็นั่งพิมพ์จดหมายแบบนี้นะคะที่พุทธศาสนิกสัมพันธ์แห่งโลกนะ WFP พิมพ์ยูส่งแฟกซ์ไปที่ UNInternational ส่งแฟกซ์ก็ยังไม่เป็นเลยตอนนั้นโทรศัพท์ก็ไม่มีออฟฟิศอะไรก็ไม่มีส่งก็ส่งให้ดร.กรวิภายูนิเฟมค่ะที่ UN สหประชาชาตินะคะส่งไปจดหมายฉบับที่2ให้รัฐมนตรีดร.กรวิภาวณีรินมาเปิดงานเป็นรัฐมนตรีหญิงสมัยนั้นนะส่งปุ๊บภายใน10 นาทีนั้นก็ตอบรับหมดเลยค่ะมาเปิดงานให้หมดเลย
ลุกขึ้นเอื้อเฟื้อกันและกันส่งเสริมกันและกันในพุทธบริษัท4ทั้งภิกษุภิกษุณีอุบาสกอุบาสิกาที่นั่นเป็นที่รุ่งเรืองแห่งธรรมที่นั่นเป็นที่ผาสุกของเราตถาคตนี่ก็ขอยกข้ามทุกท่านทุกฝ่าย
เจริญพรมายังท่านแม่ชีแล้วก็คารวะญาติโยมทุกคนทุกฝ่ายแต่มาภาพก็ขอขอบคุณก่อนอันดับแรกจากทุกคนที่ได้ช่วยเหลือกันรวมใจกันที่นี่มีพุทธบริษัท4ภิกษุภิกษุณีอุบาสกอุบาสิกาที่นี่มีนิกายครบทั่วโลกมารวมอยู่ที่นี่นะเทรวาสวัชรยานและประมาณเป็นแหล่งรวมใจ
Few causes promoted by the United Nations have generated more intense and widespread support than the campaign to promote and protect the equal rights of women. The Charter of the United Nations, signed in San Francisco in 1945, was the first international agreement to proclaim gender equality as a fundamental human right. Nearly 200 women from 20 countries have been awarded to date. Some of the awardees have included the objectives of the Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards, OWBA, mobilize public opinion and international action to promote the role and status of Theravada Bhikkhunis in Southeast Asia, thereby directing assistance to disadvantaged groups of women and girls. Uplift the good deeds of Buddhist women so that others may know. Provide good role models for society. Encourage the award recipients. Promote sorority in the overcoming of obstacles. Promote information of the award recipient's role in developing her own life, that of her community, her nation, and the world. Training, research, and the collection of sex-segregated data on the role and status of ordained women in Buddhism. Encourage a movement which uplifts the role and status of Buddhist women within the Buddhist faith. Promote telling the history of women in Buddhism. Promote a network of accomplished Buddhist women, ordained and lay. The categories of the Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards, OWBA, recognize 4 categories of accomplishments: meditative practice, social work and community development, Dharma propagation, e.g. Dharma writings, academic writings, radio, TV, websites, peace activism. (2023) 22nd Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards winners. Totally 16 winners. 01 Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Singing, Taiwan. Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Singing was born in 1952 in a small town, Taitung, in eastern Taiwan. She had 4 elder brothers, 4 older sisters, 1 younger brother, and parents, for a total of 10 in her family. Her family was poor, and her father died of illness when she was only 6 years old. Her loving mother worked hard to support and nurture the children. So, her older brothers and sisters left school early to go out to work to help the family. She was lucky. After graduating from elementary school, her teacher persuaded her mother to let her go to higher education because of excellent grades. After being admitted to Taitung Girls High School, she paid in installments and received a scholarship to complete her studies. Next, she studied at Taitung High School of Business in their evening program and worked part-time until she finally completed her studies. Such an environment of growth and learning made her dare not slack off. She studied hard, cherished blessings, and was grateful. After graduating from high school, her family moved to Kaohsiung. She took full-time work and by the age of 20 found Buddhism. The first time she heard a Dharma talk, she wept with joy, and thereafter used her spare time to study Buddhism. She also took her mother to listen to teachings everywhere. By 1979, she quit her job and began to study at Fo Guang Shan Buddhist College. Great Master Xingyan's compassion deeply inspired her. Upon her graduation in 1981, she continued her studies and went to study at Chengli Yuanguang Buddhist College. After her first year there, she received Bhikkhuni ordination. After graduation, she taught at the same college. Once proficient at how to teach and practice, she packed her bags and traveled to Japan to further her studies. She earned her BA and MA at Tokyo University in Buddhism, then returned to Taiwan. Upon her return, Yuanguang Buddhist College hired her to teach and manage all of the female students. Later, she became dean. Bhikkhuni Singyen's lectures always applied Dharma to life by guiding students back to body, speech, and mind. Her students came from all over the world, 26 countries, and from all traditions of Buddhism. Currently, Bhikkhuni Singyen is the director of the Women's Department of Yuanguang Buddhist College in Taiwan, and is the assistant instructor of the Circle of Light Dharma Guardians of Yuanguang Temple. For the past 10 years, she has traveled upon the invitation of alumni and believers to promote Dharma in Malaysia, Singapore, and throughout China. Now at the age of 70 and 41 years in the robes, she lives at Yuanguang Temple and cultivates the talents of monastics at the college. Bhikkhuni Singing writes, "The Dharma needs to be promoted by more people, so that the Dharma can be spread in all directions, so that every sentient being can get close to good teachers and benefit from hearing the Dharma." (02) Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Saula, Thailand. Bhikkhuni Saula was born in Kalasan, Thailand in 2491-1948. She was one of 5 children. After the birth of her youngest brother, her mother passed away from the birthing process. She was 9 years old at the time. The baby boy had to be carried throughout the village from mother to receive breast milk. The family had a challenging time. So, she and her sister were sent to live with her aunt in town. She graduated from high school and entered the Thai Army, where she served as a social worker for the children and wives of servicemen. At age 20, she married and gave birth to her daughter, Lamyai. When the baby was only 2 months old, Saula developed breast cancer and her husband abandoned her due to the fetid odor of the ulcerated breast cancer. She healed. Saula worked as a voice-over for silent movies in the theater. She remarried and gave birth to her second child, a son. She divorced again and sent her children to live with her aunt, who raised her. Saula headed to the city to work. She purchased and sold vegetables wholesale by the truckload. Then her aunt died. She collected her 2 children and put them to live in the vegetarian, Santi Usapke Buddhist community under the abbotship of Bhikkhu Bhattarak. Several of her other relatives followed, and at age 32, Saula entered the temple to live as well. As a laywoman practitioner, she practiced meditation and all temple activities for 28 years, living in the Buddhist temple. At age 60 she departed and ordained as a 10-precept Tasamata with long poor damakat and wore brown robes. (03) Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Dhamma Bodhayana, Thailand. Bhikkhuni Dhamma Bodhayana was born in Royiti, Thailand in 1965. She is the eldest of 3 children. Her parents were shopkeepers. She graduated from Rajwateyakum High School Grade 3, and at the age of 18 married and gave birth to 2 daughters and 1 son, all the while she ran a business. Her children have all since graduated, married, and attained good employment. She had the opportunity to practice meditation at the temple near her home as a laywoman, and one day a deep faith arose in her heart when hearing the Buddha's teachings. The words of the Buddha indicated deep truths to her and gave her a wonderful direction in her life. She thus returned home and spoke with her husband. She informed him that she would like to pursue a monastic life. So, at the age of 41, she ordained as a white-robed nun, a Mechi, and remained so for 7 years. Subsequently, the opportunity to ordain as a Samaneri arose, and she went forth at the age of 48. Ultimately, she ordained as a bhikkhuni at the age of 50 in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. When she was a Mechi, she observed how difficult life was for women while living at the temple of male monks. Thus, a thought arose. One day she would create a meditation center for women. Time passed, and she received a donation of 7 rai of land. She began to actualize her dream and created a meditation center for women. Now, she welcomes all women to come, practice, and enjoy peace of mind as they study the Dhamma. Bhikkhuni Dhammavari Bodhiyana is the Abbess of Vari Bodhiyana Meditation Center, Niwat, the Wat Buri District, Roy T Province, Thailand 45170. Bhikkhuni Dhammavari is a gracious, humble, and dignified woman. She is a blessing to the fourfold Sangha. She writes, "I am a member of the ordained Buddhist Sangha and teach Buddhism. I want to see the continuation of Buddhism. Today, I am proud to be a full member of the ordained Buddhist Sangha." Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Dr. Sabita Malakal, Thailand. Bhikkhuni Dr. Sabita was born Thonburi Province, Thailand. She is one of 4 children. Throughout her childhood, she studied diligently. She excelled in many subjects, including English and the use of new technologies. She eventually entered a career at the Bank of Thailand, and, upon her retirement, began her full-time pursuit of Buddhism. Interestingly, she followed in the footsteps of her mother, who became a white-robed nun, Mechi, in her later adult life. Dedicatedly, she and her siblings cared for their mother and respected her spiritual pursuits until her passing. Gifted by her mother's presence, Bhikkhuni Dr. Sabita developed resilience, a social factor facilitated by her relationships with the adults in her youth, which expressed as patience and the ability to overcome obstacles and succeed. Thus, at the age of 58, she began her MA studies in Buddhism at Maha Chulalongkorn Buddhist University, International Program. Then, upon successfully completing her master's degree, she began her PhD studies in Buddhism at the age of 62 at Mahamakot Buddhist University and graduated in October 2022. This extraordinary accomplishment earns her great admiration as the first Thai bhikkhuni to earn a PhD in Buddhism in Thailand. Bhikkhuni Dr. Sabita also practiced meditation and studied Buddha Dhamma at Ba Arun Vivek Temple in Amnad Cherawan, Ba Luang Ta Bua Yen Sampano Temple in Phetchabun, Ba Arun Vivek Temple in Chiang Rai, Thailand, and Angui Tao A Gam Mat Tan Temple in Ta Ki Lek, Myanmar. In the future, Bhikkhuni Dr. Sabita aims to bring Tipitaka studies to youth, especially right view and the cultivation of virtues, meditation, and wisdom. 05 Lama Chimi Latso, Sweden. Lama Chimi is a Buddhist minister. Chimi means immortal in Tibetan and is part of the name she was given when she was ordained as a Buddhist nun. As a Buddhist nun, she trained for 12 years, among other things, in meditation and Buddhist philosophy with masters in the Himalayas and in North America. Lama Chimi is a certified wedding officiate and Dharma meditation teacher. She is also the founder and program instructor of Trayana meditation. Her Dharma and meditation teachings are very well received. Her wisdom and empathetic personality touches many deeply. She holds a MA in performing arts and is truly a sky dancer. She is a published poet, writer, lecturer, and speaker. Lama Chimi is a spiritual sage who blesses our times.
It was, of course, if you're alive and you're a human being with a good mind, maybe you next time. Then you all, of course, have a chance to study and to live any kind of life that you choose to live. In this life, I was born in a country that is not Buddhist. So for a little child, having an interest of spiritual development as something being very natural, having an interest not only, but also understanding that this is the most meaningful thing you can do with your life. That became also a little bit strange, a little bit awkward, because I'm born and raised in Sweden, and it's a country that when I was a child and still into this day put a lot of emphasis.
Da Nang Chi Chi Thane, Myanmar. Da Nang Chi Chi Thane was born in 1959 in Than Tien City, Northern Shan State, Myanmar. Her father is Uhla Shu, Samel Long, and her mother is Dwa Nyent, Pa Nang Kem Sing. She studied till 8th grade in the State High School of Than Tien City, Northern Shan State, Myanmar. She got married in 1982 with Yu Sam Mung, Zhao Yu Mung, and then she had 3 children. After her father passed away in 1998, she began to manage the religious activities along with her mother and her younger brother Sayadaw Sayasakam at Dhamma Meditation Center, DMC, which her parents established. She organizes a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat twice a year. Once during the Vasa, rainy season retreat, and once during the Thingyen Festival, Myanmar's New Year and Water Festival in mid-April. More than 500 practitioners join each retreat. Nong Phong Kam, Myanmar. Nong Phong Kam, also known as Nong A La, was born on December 22, 1966. Her hometown is Muse, Northern Shan State, Myanmar. Her mother is Da Nong Kam Sain or Da Erzor, and her father is Usaik Phone. 08 Mechi Nudio, Netpakdi, Thailand. Mechi Nudio Netpakdi was born on January 25, 1958 in Ampere Kumbawabi, Ubon Ratchathani Province, Thailand. Her parents were rice farmers. During her childhood, she developed polio and could not walk as other children. At the age of 44, she ordained as a white-robed nun, a Mechi, as she was seeking the Buddha Dhamma to quell the storm within herself. Even though she felt that her life was not as complete as others, She trusted that the Buddha Dhamma could inspire her life forward just as it could inspire anyone else's. She felt the possibility of completing her past and moving forward with a sense of dignity. A friend of hers began to create a temple for women, so she moved in. Together, they built the temple for women, and when her colleague Meichi passed away, she searched for a way to have the temple remain functional and grow. So, she invited bhikkhunis to come and reside at her temple. As time progressed, she saw their great virtues, until today feels grateful for their presence in her life. Meichi Nudionet Pakdi meditates for peace in herself and this world. According to the Buddhist canon, women are as capable of reaching nirvana as men. The canon reports that the order of bhikkhunis was first created by the Buddha at the specific request of his aunt and foster mother Mahapajapati Gautami, who became the first ordained bhikkhuni. A famous work of the early Buddhist schools is the Therigatha, a collection of poems by elder nuns about enlightenment that was preserved in the Pali Canon. The canon describes extra vows required for women to be ordained as bhikkhunis, the 8 Garudhammas, and legislates the bhikkhuni order as subordinate to and reliant upon the bhikkhu order. In places where the bhikkhuni lineage was historically missing or has died out due to hardship, alternative forms of renunciation have developed. In Tibetan Buddhism, women officially take the vows of Vermeers, novitiates. Some Theravadan women may choose to take an informal and limited set of vows similar to the historical vows of the Khmer, like the Mechi of Thailand and Thilashin of Myanmar. The Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards are part of an international women's movement which takes a stand for transformation and celebrates the acts of courage and determination by women in the history of Buddhism.